Hi, this is going to be a brief tutorial on the Trade Finder. Basically what it allows you to do, it finds trades based on certain indicators. For example, this is based on the moving average, the 20 SMA moving average. It waits for it to cross. Here, I'll find one. Like right here. It measures from the close of the previous candle to the close of the current candle. And it closed above moving average, so we see it here. Right now there's not any other ones. I'll go to a lower time frame. If it doesn't have any data, it will not display. I'm not sure why it doesn't display at the moment, but it'll just give it a second. It just has to download enough information, data for all these pairs. But basically right here, we're on the 4-hour chart. It's just so I could get some more entry points. The green highlights the current selected currency, and it's saying that it's 117 pips below the moving average. So if you look over here, the ATR is currently at 193. If everything else fit, you could take that trade on the fact that it's below the ATR. Like here's another one. This one's saying it's the Euro Mexican peso, so 306 pips isn't that much really, but that's how far it is from the moving average to the current close. There's also other ones, like here's the absolute strength. Click on that. It's just crossed up right here. Here's the euro pound, or yen, I mean, crossed up. Next one is the SSL channel. You can select it. We'll select the Swiss yen. Just crossed up. The euro Turkish lira just crossed down, and so forth. Up here it shows the parameters that are currently in the indicator. There's one thing I'd like to point out. When you press this button, it'll give you trading information. I press the information, just like I wanted to make a trade at the current candle on the Aussie Swiss. It will, it gives you all this information. How many pips the target's away, how much it's going to cost you. This one's based on this account balance, which is a demo. It says I have that much money in there. Daily risk percentage, and it'll calculate all this stuff. Tells you, I guess, how many pips the target's away, the stop, how much that is in dollar amount, and then it gives you the buy target and buy stop if you're going to buy there, and the sell target and the sell stop if you're going to sell at that price. Then it gives you the volume, which is going to be, this is one of the things you're going to have to figure out. Actually, you're going to have to verify for yourself. Use this on a demo. Don't take these numbers. Don't trust them, because I've only verified them for me. I verified them enough for me. I use them, but you should do the same. Do not use this on a real trade until you feel confident that the numbers are right or correct. I also haven't verified it on other currencies, account currencies, so it shouldn't change, technically speaking, but I haven't verified it. So do use this program if you ever want to use it. Just use it on demo and check it. If there's something wrong, you can let me know, and I'll fix it. Anyway, this is one of the things that I would just like people to be aware of that these numbers are I'm trying to be accurate, but I can't verify it. So you're going to have to do that for yourself. And then the other thing it has here is it has like a whitelist, like say you were interested in trading that one, or you put a trade in, or you're just watching it. You know, it can. The green one, like if I select that right now, it won't change white. But the green one is the currently selected currency. These buttons up here allow you to sort by, like right now we're sorting by value, and these are the currencies that satisfy the condition. We can also sort by the ATR. These are the number of pips per ATR period, which is the daily, and I have it set to 14. You can also sort by the spread, and then you can sort by the ATR divided by the spread, which is pretty straightforward. And right now, it appears that it's going to take 4.2 pips to possibly make per day 60.8. The thing I'm not certain about is I have this button here. When you press it, it multiplies the ATR times price per pip. So what it's saying is it's going to cost you, say, $31.20 to possibly make per day, on average, $451.60. I'm not certain about that. I'm. If anybody else has any ideas, if that's correct or not, that feel free to let me know. I forgot to show how to populate this list. Basically, it gets the list from this Market Watch window. If you're going to create your own list, what you should do is make sure nothing else is loaded. None of the pairs are being used. If you have a trade in on some pair, it's going to show up in this list. The other thing, like if you just wanted the 28 pairs, you could go in and just basically select only the majors that you're interested in. I have it already set here, and and just make a list, and you can have it however you want. So when you do load this thing, it's now going to use this list. See, a lot shorter, 28 instead of however many there were. So that's how it gets its lists, and you can just create them, and it resorts them, so it doesn't matter what order they're in. It's just, and I think this is set. The maximum is I think 50. But if you have a huge monitor, I think the limit is 200, which would be a bit much, I think. I don't think anybody could really manage that, but if you want, I guess you could do it that way. But anyway, there's that. Anyway, we'll continue on. It also has, it has a number. It has right now I have 13 things in here. We have the Aroon, the RVI, this Oracle move, which is another indicator, Fiji-Trend, which is this thing here. And these are just ones that I chose at the time when I started to do this, and I'll add more later. But then it has on-balance volume. And again, all the parameters are shown up here. This is an indicator I wrote, similar to a MACD. And momentum, it has, again, used smoothing, and it also has a signal, moving average applied to it if you want to do it that way. RSI, MACD, Stochastics, CCI, and now we're back here. The other thing that it does have, and this indicator here, this is a vertical line indicator, and what allows you to do is, I have green, just pretend you wanted to get on that candle, and you wanted to get out on this one down here or somewhere. You can, as you can see, it adds it to both charts. You can have up I think there's like 50 lines, 50 vertical lines, 25 pairs. And as you can go back and using this function, you can go back a year. If there's enough candle data, again, if this disappears, it's just, some of these pairs don't have, the same number of candles. So, some of them may run out and it might, you might not be getting the full picture. It's just so you know. But here, what you can do is like it's like you wanted to just, we'll set it to today, which is Friday. And say you wanted to go start testing a year back from today. You're now, if you look at this candle and you look over here, but I look at this candle, you can see that that's where it's positioned at. And these values are correct to this candle. So like if this one, here we'll use the Euro Kiwi, it's saying it's above the 20 SMA by 14 pips, which back at this time, it was, we'll select this, it was moving like 94 pips per day. So it'd probably be, if everything else worked, that would probably be a trade you'd get in. And then you could whitelist it or watch it. And you can walk forward through it, and you can do your test. You can just visually test your algorithm and see how well it goes, how much this one's going. Again, I forgot. You should put, okay, wherever that was, since I think that one closed, but maybe it's this one. So you got it here, This isn't lining up, but whatever, It's like you wanted to get out there. You thought or your exit indicator said, this is where you go. This is how I do it anyway. And you can use it however you want to use it or not use it at all. If you want to, it basically, here, I'll show you what it has. It has two presets. I just have one green and one red. Green enter, red, you can position this thing in any of these corners or wherever, and you can have them solid or whatever type you want. And then if you want to hide them, you just go like that and it hides them. So, and as you walk through, go through this, with this vertical line indicator, what you can do is it saves the positions of the vertical lines for each currency. So we're a Euro Kiwi, and now we're looking at the Aussie Kiwi, and just like that was an entry point, we can add that there, and it's like we go forward a little bit, and we got out. If you want to add, the red right there, and you go, and then you want to go back and look at the Euro Kiwi, which is this one. See, they're still there. It keeps track of them. So, you have basically 25 pairs, 25 trades, and you can just sort of walk through it this way, or you can do it by the month or whatever. Oh, here, I should show you. Well, on some of these indicators, I'll point this out. These numbers down here, these are what the values are right here at this candle. And this up here tells you what the current candle is, but if you're back testing, you want to see what those are, and I kind of hated doing that. So on the ones that I had control over, I put these numbers, and that's all they represent. Might as well show you these two things here is the auto scroll and the chart shift. When you're using, here I'll show you on this again. When you're using this, or even if you turn this off, if you've noticed these, they're going to be on. It's going to always revert back to here. It'll turn them off when you press this time thing. Turns them off. But if for whatever reason you don't want to deal with the timer and you want to scroll back though, you can just disable these, put those to disabled. And the rest of these, or most of these down here, like here's the parameters for the moving average you can have, which is really the moving average cross, and then how far away current price is from whatever this moving average is. And I'll sort it by that. So this next one, the Aroon, which is just, there it is. You can set that parameter. And if you look at the various, the ones that actually, that's why I used these. I added these parameters here. So if you were looking at, for example, the Aroon, or its absolute strength, sorry, I had gone through all this. There. You can see it's using RSI mode, 931, RSI, 931, close, linear weighted, and this is just the normal cross, which, that's why I have, these various numbers are on there. It just makes it so you can verify that you're using the same settings. So we'll go back here. Absolute strength, you can select which mode it is, and, it's the simple indicator. SSL channel, same thing. There's only one way to do it. RSI, or RVI, I guess. Oracle move. Fiji-Trend, these are all pretty set things. Here's on balance volume. You can have the smoothing, and then you can add a signal. One thing I wanted to point out is this here. If you look at the RVI and you look at the signal that is generated, a signal on the RVI, it's an interesting bit of code there. If you're using the on balance volume, for example, and you select use RVI type, it will give you that real tight moving average that follows a little bit closer than a normal moving average would. So that's what this is, this little difference, this thing here. But if you want, you can use the RVI type, or you can just use the normal moving average, which is a 9 exponential. You can change that, or you can change whatever. This is the indicator that I did, which is really kind of just like a little, it's very much like the MACD. Anyway, here's the one thing that I guess I should also point out is on, well, here, the test type, I think this is one of the first ones. The normal one is really just the value of the indicator. It arranges or orders things from high to low. For example, that's what most of the normal settings are. No crosses, it's just which one is the highest and which one's the lowest. The next one is it will test by zero cross, when it crosses a zero line, or the signal cross. And here again, you have the, you can set the smoothing, and test type has the same type of thing that the unbalanced volume had. They all, I put it in all of them. Like here's momentum. Momentum has the same thing, 100 cross, the normal value itself, and signal cross. RVI is, Stochastic, CCI has signal cross. Again, using the either moving average or RVI, and then it has a level cross, which it will, as it crosses down from, say, 200 down, he'll let you know. If it crosses up through 200, it doesn't let you know. And then down here is just, this is where I put the parameters, because for the most part, once you get it set, you're probably not going to be down here too much. So, and we'll be probably changing these more often. So I just stuck these down here. hold timer is basically when you're using backtesting. When you get to that position, it will hold it. If it's on, if this is enabled, it will hold it there, position it there for a couple seconds, and then if you, like, say you're testing for on the daily chart, and if this is enabled, it will hold it there for a couple seconds, and then you can press the F12 key and you can advance forward. And then, the next time you hit the date to change the date, it'll reset it. It'll move it to the current date and hold it there for a couple seconds, or the refresh timer is basically so it's not constantly calculating. It will calculate constantly if it's trying to update the information. So if you see the thing kind of just calculating, it's downloading information and going through, trying to get to whatever position you have it set at. So, but when you have enough information in there, this is set to every 10 seconds. It will go through and update everything. So you can change that if you want. Here's where you can wait for it to close and then it updates, which is probably, I wouldn't do it that way actually. But anyway, that's what that does. And then you can display the previous candle. It'll position the chart, but it'll display the values for the previous candle, if that's set to yes. This is, if you want to use account margin, which you have in the account, you can select that to yes, or if you want to use no, which I found that setting it to 5,002%, this is a percentage, risk percentage, it's $100. Spreads the stop, spreads, $100 across whatever the ATR 1.5 number of pips. It'll spread $100 across it. So it's just a way of measuring things, so in your brain you can hopefully understand a little better. And here you can change the stop multiplier, target multiplier, number of symbols. If you put too many, it's just they're going to scroll down here and you're not going to really see them. And I guess but 50 is actually a lot. And anyway, skip Saturdays, and there's the symbol selected color. You can change that. You can change the watch list color. These are the colors that you see over here. And if you want to make them all the same or change them in whatever colors you want, you can change it right there. I don't have any alerts yet. The alerts were very complicated at the moment because there's so many things, and it drove me crazy. There was too many alerts, too many things happening. So anyway, I have to figure out some other. I haven't figured out that yet, so it's disabled. And here's just some colors, various things on the indicator itself. Okay, I'm pretty sure everybody here knows how to install indicators. Just open the data folder, take this. I'll basically copy all the templates into the template folder, and just drag the Trade Finder folder into the indicators, which it's already there for me. So that's all I have to do. And I've set up, you can just use the templates. For example, if you wanted to, you could load the main chart template, and then you can load, I have here's a demo one. I'll load that and you can obviously put your own indicators, whatever you want in here. If you want to use the ones that I have, you can. If you're going to use the CCI, you may want to use my version, but it doesn't, it's mainly just, it's the same code in here, so it's the same one, but you can use, put whatever indicators you want, and you can have as many charts as well. But if you wanted to add by yourself without using the templates, select the main chart. We'll use this one. And just drag it on there. It's set to master already. So if you have any other indicators, like here, there is a moving average. You're going to just have to delete them. But it chops off this. You don't see these numbers or the date. And then all the colors are set. And it's like you want this to be one of the charts that you're going to use. You can then drag this on here and set this to slave. You might want to make a template of your chart and then just add the trade finder to it and select the slave option. So I know this is, I just got a lot of stuff I got to do. I've been working on this, trying to finish it so I could get it out. I'll do a better video at some point, and I'm hoping I haven't forgotten anything.